Hey, it's Monday the 9th of March. Let me tell you what made me mad today. So the thing that made me most mad was the realization that as the stock market is crashing, as people are being forced or choose to stay home and not earn a paycheck, either because business is bad or because of fears of coronavirus or self-imposed quarantine or imposed quarantine, or their employers ask them not to come to work, or the employer says perhaps if you have a cough or a sneeze or a headache or anything that is a symptom of anything, don't come to work, because if you do, we might be blaming you for making us all sick. So you can imagine how many people are staying home from work this week of March 9th. And not only that, the number of cases is exploding from this virus. We're facing a situation where people are not going to be going to work, either because they've chosen not to go to work, or because they've been asked not to go to work, or because there's a new sense now that perhaps you should be scared to go to work. If you have, if you're getting dressed in the morning to go to work and you sneeze, should you go to work? If it turns out that you actually were sick, people are going to say, well, you were sick, you had a symptom, and yet you went out. So I think a lot of people are actually going to start thinking about not going out. There's a growing peer pressure now. And as the rate of infection grows here, there's going to be even less activity than people think. So here is really the main thing. People are going to be staying home. Workers are going to be staying home. Consumers are going to be staying home. The economy is going to halt, and lowering rates is not going to help anything. If the stock market goes up or down, doesn't help anything. People are in a situation where, if you have a financial problem, things are kind of fine. You borrow money on a credit card, you put more money on a credit card, you get another credit card. I believe this is how this works. And then you have a calamity, a medical emergency. You need to buy a new car. Your car needs a whole new engine. Something happens, a big chunk relative to what you make, and you realize that living paycheck to paycheck means that if you fall 2 paychecks behind, that's it. You can't catch up. The penalties and fees that people start charging you equal almost the amount of your payment. You are crushed if you're a normal person who misses 2 paychecks. And this is what we're looking at here. What happens if you miss 2 paychecks, 3 paychecks? I mean, it's great. Okay, maybe there's not going to be a payroll cut, or there's going to be a tax cut. If my tax rate went down in half, would it persuade me to take a cruise? Maybe. I mean, if it went down in half, maybe. Probably not. Probably for most people, not. I mean, it's like there's. If I was 10 years older, I wouldn't think it was worth it. If I was 10 years younger, I would almost certainly do it. But I don't think that my risk profile matches most people's. I think activity is really going to slow down. I don't know what's going to happen with people who don't have a paycheck for a month. No paycheck for a month or 2. How long has Wuhan been locked down? How are the people who live in Wuhan getting paid? Are their companies paying them? Maybe the Chinese government says pay them. So then it would be good to have an autocratic person in office, and there's a good argument for our next election. We need an autocratic and tell the companies, pay them. Is that what you want? I suspect that would make me angry. Take care.